Welcome back to Lost Odyssey. So we're still going...
I cannot hear you!
You know what that sounds like? Pneumonia!
To be fair, 2 of these people are immortal, so just worry about Jensen. Get an umbrella.
Might as well go off on what Duez was saying earlier. Okay. All this massive climate just reminds me of once a time ago when I lived in Britain.
Yeah, this is actually a memory when you get a story from Soul.
Yeah. A dream has been revealed. Let's stream it right now.
Are you okay? He just stands there, her eyes raining and having the dream.
So today we're doing the Upstreamers.
Oh, cool! A Crash Bandicoot level.
Strong winds have always blown across this vast grassy plain. Perhaps the area's topography has something to do with it, but the direction of the wind remains consistent, irrespective of the time or season, from east to west, from the horizon where the sun rises to the horizon where the sun sets. Swept by the unceasing winds, the misshapen trunks and branches of shrubs all incline to the west. Tall grasses do not grow here, and the grasses that do grow all lie flat on the ground, bending westward. Caravans and herding folk traverse the single road that crosses the plain. They do not come and go, they only go, moving from east to west, using the wind at their backs to gain distance. Travelers heading west to east always use the circuitous route that snakes around the southern mountains. It is much farther that way, but much faster than crossing the plain head-on into the wind. Get it? Because, we're trying to go against the wind right now in the story. Haha. This is why it reminded him.
Paint with all the colors of said wind.
Unfortunately, no. As you can see in the background, is very gray. So, the road across the plain is called the wind stream. Just as the flow of the great river never changes direction, the footsteps of those who use the road have not changed direction since the distant past, nor are they likely to change far into the distant future, from east to west. Human shapes that appear from the horizon where the sun rises disappear over the horizon where the sun sets. They never pass unconvened travelers. With only the rarest exceptions, mind you. There go the letters. There you go.
Again, we're doing the Winnie the Pooh thing.
The first time she passed Kaim on the windstream, the girl was just an infant. Go ahead, Whips.
So was my grandmother alive then?
In response to the girl's untroubled question, Kaim smiles and answers.
She was, and I remember. What a nice old lady she was, too.
Looking back down the road, the girl points toward the line of hills fading off into the distance.
My grandmother crossed 7 hills on her journey.
Man, 7 hills?
She was a journey player.
Is 7 a lot?
Uh-huh. Grandma lived a long time. Most people end their journeys after 5 hills. The people they leave behind build a little grave at the end of their journey, and then they keep traveling.
The girl points down at the ground where she is standing.
This is as far as I've come,
She says with a proud, happy smile. The religion of the girl and her family professes a pious belief that if they devote their lives to walking eastward against the flow of the wind stream, they will arrive at the easternmost source of the stream itself.
A pilgrimage.
Basically.
In the way of the Salmons, basically.
People call believers in that religion the Upstreamers. That's the name of the dream. The word carries a hint of fear and sadness, but also a trace of contempt and scorn. The Upstreamers are devoid of worldly desires. They live their lives for no greater purpose than traveling eastward on foot. They are free of doubt. They give birth to children en route, and they continue their journey while raising their children. When they age and their strength gives out, their journey ends. But their family's journey continues, from child to grandchild to great-grandchild. Their belief is carried on. Okay, that's so even the children are being born en route. That's gotta be incredibly dangerous, but whatever.
It's a nomadic type of culture, a bit similar to the Romani.
The journey of the girl's family was begun by her late grandmother, who began walking from the windstream to western verge of her son, who was then the age of the girl is now. The Upstreamers do not walk for the entire year, of course. During the season, the winds are especially strong, from late autumn to early spring. They take up residence in various post towns scattered along the road and earn day wages by performing tasks that the townsfolk themselves refuse to do. Some Upstreamers choose to stay in the towns, while others, conversely, take townspeople with them when they return to the road in the spring. There are people whom they have fallen in love during the long winter, or boys who dream of travel, or grown-ups who have tired of town life. So basically they're even converting people to their religion as well.
Cool.
Sure, such are the reasons the townsfolk look upon the Upstreamers with complicated gazes. The little girl's mother was one of those who joined the journey midway, and the girl herself, some years from now, might fall in love with someone from a post town somewhere. She might choose to live in the town, or she could just as well invite her lover to join her on the road. She has no idea at this point what lies in store for her.
Oh boy.
The girl's father calls out to her. Jova, go ahead.
Time to go.
Their brief rest is over. She seems sorry to leave and stands up reluctantly. Go ahead, Sherry. That's
Too bad.
Dwibs, sorry. She says, go ahead.
I wasn't going to talk to you more, but we have to get to the next town by the time the snow starts.
Constantly exposed to headwinds, her cheeks are red and cracked, her lips chapped, but her smile is wonderful as she wishes Kaim a safe journey. It is a serene smile of one who believes completely in the purpose of her life, without the slightest doubt. So, at some point, Kaim joined the religion, even.
Or at the very least, the path coincided.
Will I see you again somewhere?
She asks.
Probably.
Kaim answers, smile back at her, but he can never match that smile of hers. He is now in the midst of a journey that will take him beyond the western end of the Wed Stream. He heads to the battlefield as a mercenary, and by the time the western battle is over, a new battle will have begun in the east. It will be a long, cruel journey with nothing to believe in. When he meets the girl again along the way, Kaim's smile will have taken on even more shadows than it has now.
Oh, how nice. I'll meet her again.
For this particular situation, think of Kaim as a ball in a game of Pong.
Perhaps a parting gift of sorts. The girl sings a few short lines for him. You don't have to sing them, just read them.
This way, where does it flow from? Where does it start its journey here? Does it come from where life begins? Or does it begin where life ends? Bye then.
The girl says, trudging on, one labored step at a time, hair streaming in the headwind.
Like
Well, to be fair, it's a better song than Selfie's train song, at least. 10 long years have flowed by when Kaim next meets the girl.
All the Emmys.
It did?
I'm gonna pretend I haven't heard that.
It is spring, when the grassland is done.
Hold on.
It won the Here's Your Emmy, Now Go Away Emmy.
The grassland is dotted with lovely white flowers. She has become the wife of a young man who does tailoring and shoe repair in one of the post towns. Jova, you can be her older self. Go ahead.
This is my third spring here,
She says, patting her swollen belly fondly. In a few days, she will give birth to a child. She will become a mother.
And your parents?
Kaim asks. She shrugs and glances eastward.
They are continuing their journey.
Yeah,
I'm the only one who stayed here.
Kaim does not ask why she has done this. Continuing the journey is one way to live, and staying in town is another. Neither can be judged to be more correct than the other. The only answer for the girl can be seen in her smiling face. Well,
again, basically, it's her business.
It's as long as she's happy, so yeah.
But never mind about me.
She says, looking at him suspiciously.
You haven't changed one bit from the time we met so long ago.
For the 1,000-year-old Kaim, 10 years is nothing but a change in season.
Some lives are like that.
He says, straining to smile.
Some people in this world can never grow old, no matter how long they live. Oh, that was her. Sorry, my bad.
Looks
Some
at the,
people in this world can never grow old, no matter how long they live.
He looks at the girl, now grown into a woman, and wonders again. Living through endless ages of time, is it a blessing or a curse? There's no quotes. That's the weird part. There's no quotes in there. Like,
yeah, but it's italics. That means where he's thinking.
Okay, Kaim's remark hardly counts as an explanation, but the girl nods with a look of apparent understanding.
If that's the case,
She says,
you should be the one who goes to the place where the wind begins. You'd be the perfect upstreamer.
She could be right, after all. Still, Kaim responds with a few slow shakes of his head.
I'm not qualified to make the journey.
No, anyone can be an upstreamer. Anybody, that is, who wants to see where the wind starts with his or her eyes.
Having said this, however, the girl adds with a touch of sadness.
No one has actually seen it, though, I guess.
The place where the wind begins. That place is nowhere at all. Even if, after a long journey, one were to arrive at the eastern end of the wind stream, the wind would be blowing there too. And not just an east wind, west wind, north wind, south wind, winds without limit, without end. Man, the characters from The Happening would be fucked in this place. Human beings who cannot live forever, daring to take a journey without end. This might be the ultimate tragedy, but it could just as well be the ultimate comedy. Kaim knows one thing, however. One cannot simply dismiss it as an exercise in futility.
I mean, Bart's Klauser actually embodies the spirit of the wind, so he might like this. How about you?
Yes, the girl.
Aren't you going to continue your journey soon?
She thinks about this for the space of a breath, and caressing her swollen belly, she cocks her head and says,
I wonder. I might want to go on living the way I am now, forever. Then again, I might feel that desire to reach the starting point of the wind.
All the upstreamers without exception say that you can never know what might trigger a return to the journey. One day, without warning, you slough off the entire town life and start walking. It is not always a matter of running into an upstream and being lured back to the road. Plenty of people set out on their own all of a sudden. The teachings of the upstreamers say that all human beings harbor a desire for endless travel. They probably are not aware of the desire because it's stashed away so far down the breast that is deeper than memory. The instant something brings it to the surface, a person becomes an upstreamer.
Now that's a fact of life.
Basically not who you are, but what you choose to do.
Like many things in life, it is a choice. Even you have a desire.
The girl says to Kaim.
I wonder.
It's true.
She says.
No question.
The look in her eyes is as straight on and free of doubt as it was the last time he met her. Fixing him with that look, she looks into his eyes.
I haven't completely lost it myself.
But I'm sure you're happy with your present life.
Of course I am.
Do you really think that they will come when you will want to set out on a journey, even if it means giving up that happiness?
Instead of answering, she gives him a gentle smile. Many years flow by, but every now and then something reminds Kaim of the girl's words, that everyone harbors a desire for endless travel. For Kaim, living itself is a journey without end. In the course of his journey, he has witnessed countless deaths, he has also witnessed countless births. Human life is all too short, too weak and fleeting. Yet the more he dwells upon its evanescence, the more he feels, inexplicably, that words such as eternal and perpetual apply more properly to life, finite as it is, than to anything else. There you go. Traveling down the wind stream for the first time in many years, Kaim spies the funeral of an upstreamer. A young boy in mourning dress stands by the road, holding out wildflowers to passing travelers and urging them to offer up a flower to a noble soul who made the journey this far. Kaim takes a flower and asks the boy,
Is it a member of your family?
Uh-huh, my grandma. The boy nods, his face the image of one Kaim knew so long ago.
Yeah.
The old woman lying in her coffin must be the girl. Kaim is sure of it. Grandma traveled a long, long time. She brought my daddy with her when he was just a little boy. See that hill over there? She started walking from way, way beyond it, and she got all the way here. So the girl must have set out on her journey after all. Turning her back on the town life, leading her child by the hand, and she trod her way along the endless journey. Her wish to aim for the place where the wind begins will be passed on to her child, her grandchild, and on through succeeding generations. To head for a land one could never hope to reach, and to do so generation after generation. This is another endless journey.
Just like life.
Well, in Kaim's situation, yes. Not so much in most other people.
Well, the idea that life itself is the ongoing journey.
Is it a tragedy? A comedy? Perhaps a serene smile on the face of the old woman in the coffin is the answer. Kaim lays the flower at her feet as an offering. The family members who have traveled with her join together in a song for the departed. This wind, where does it blow? Where does it start its journey here? Does it come from where life begins? Or does it begin where life ends? The wind blows. It sweeps across the vast grassland. Kaim takes one long, slow step toward his destination. Have a good trip, calls the boy. Red and cracked as the girls were so long ago, his cheeks soften in a smile as he waves to the departing traveler. So there you go, this ending is more bittersweet.
I'm not even sure I'd call it... Well, okay. I mean,
it's
I guess...
still kind of to see someone else, growing and dying among the many others.
True, yeah.
It's more the fact that she chose what to do with her life.
It sounds like, all things considered, she had a good life. Like, the religion didn't force her. They let her make all her choices, essentially. It's like, hey, you can leave or you can come back. Simple as that.
The idea is that she won't be really judged. So, also, I'm curious about one thing, because it got reminded me of the text while this is going on. Has any of you actually read The House of Leaves?
No.
That rings a bell, but no.
It's a horror story which has never been adapted because, at least for now, it will be kind of impossible to do. They kind of does something similar to stuff like this, or the Blue movie, with the idea of the words on the pages. But it does it in such a unique way that it's also integral to the plot. That it's a bit hard to describe. My best answer is to try to get a copy of the book and give it a read yourself if you can. For those who have read it, they know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Alright, let's carry on and get out of British Climate Mountain.
Man, this
British
sucks.
Climate Mountain. That is,
Again, the Highlands, so basically.
Yeah.
Maybe if we keep going enough, we really will find the Stone of Scone. Who knows?
Although one fun thing, when I was going through the Greatest Attorney games, there's a point where they established that the fog in London is so thick that you can't even see your own hand in front of you. And I asked Liz if that was accurate, and he said, "Wow, it's not that thick."
So basically, in the Ace Attorney universe, London is Silent Hill. Good to know.
Yes, it's not like it's like what the IRA gamer thinks London is like. He only did those terrible travelogue videos.
Wait, did he actually travel for those travelogue videos?
No, he just had
Green
pictures
screen.
and he stood in front of a green screen.
It's the IRA gamer trope.
Along with some other guy who was the quote-unquote comic relief.
Oh, I know it's the IRA gamer. I was wondering if he actually went legit at that point.
No, bad production value. Ow. Alright, let's see if Jensen manages to cast a spell for this.
Wind! That's what we need more of up here.
Hey, no, we just fart on them. So,
There you go.
I do like how they go for a more low-value sound in the victory.
Again, the thought process apparently that Uematsu wanted to revisit all of the stages of his career. So
Makes sense. The visuals represent the later bits,
I
but
don't
some
think
stuff like
I don't think there are 8-bit beat tracks in here, but it's mostly about a combination of synth and orchestra and rock, of course.
Sakaguchi was with Final Fantasy since the start, right?
Fuck's sake.
Uematsu and Sakaguchi are like Spielberg and John Williams' Jova, yes.
No. I was asking, like, well, Sakaguchi's been with Final Fantasy since the start, right?
Well, he created it, so yes.
Whoa, what is that?
The grandstand.
Stick.
Oh, that grandstand.
That light has got to be magic energy. The staff must be leaking.
Well, maybe we should patch it up.
Seems well. That is the plan. Yeah.
Let's get the gaffer tape out and just tape it shut.
All right.
More memories.
And now, hold on.
Dialga, is that you?
Hold on.
I have hands.
You okay there, Kaim?
I'm sorry. I'm just having a flashback right now.
One where you may or may not be naked, too.
Almost as if it's a birth of all sorts.
Oh yeah, time to get religious in here.
I don't remember. Ooh, deja vu. Or maybe your memory's coming back. No. Maybe what you've forgotten you're
I
remembering.
just said I don't remember.
What? Well, excuse me for helping.
Well, excuse me for trying to help.
Okay, fine. Look at
Yeah,
the
we'll-
view. I'm gonna
we'll
go
call
ahead
that
and
helping.
Fix everything. You just talk amongst yourselves.
Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Oh,
Just what I said.
Jensen.
Do you feel
He
like you're
tries.
What's with you?
Just trying to be a friend.
Don't look at me.
Uh-huh.
But I thought you... Forget it.
I thought you liked it when I stared at you. Whoa!
We're at the end of the dungeon, so yeah. Boss time.
Yeah, it's the piano of tension.
Alright, let's get a better look at this enemy to see what we're fighting.
A griffin type creature. Basically.
A Grilgan. I guess it's more lizardish than lionish.
This is technically not the main boss theme, Drova, but it's one of the alternate ones.
Mm-hmm. Basically. Let me double check in a moment.
Dead. That was easy.
This is one of the most forgettable bosses because the boss basically comes out of nowhere, like, and doesn't have any kind of plot relevance.
It's just a giant monster that attacks without anything particular attached to it.
I guess it's to give us a boss fight.
We'll,
But
we'll get more thematic plans as we go on.
Obviously, yeah.
We did it!
That was incredible!
I almost got eaten alive.
Next time,
I
Jensen,
think
don't
it'd be an
worry.
improvement if you got eaten a little.
Yeah.
You'd talk less.
Alright. How long until these two become a couple?
They do not become a couple, actually.
You're thinking of a... Yeah, you're kind of out of the target, Drova.
Okay, I'm surprised because a lot of times, well,
Well, we
not
just
every time,
started,
but
Drova. We haven't formed yet an entire party.
I know, but a lot of times it turns out that the two bickering ones either become the best of friends or lovers by the end.
Enemies to lovers tag, yes.
I see you're using a speed up mechanic, I
No,
presume.
remember, it's the running button.
Yeah.
Oh. I knew he was running, but it looked like he was doing a sped up version of
No,
the
it's just
running.
no. Kaim just runs really runs that fast. That's why I keep making gotta go
guess
fast
it's-
jokes. So
I guess it's about where, like, it looks like he's doing, like, a jog animation, but he moves fast like a running animation. That's why I
yeah, I know, right?
speed of mechanic.
I know, right? That's why I find it funny.
Okay, and I can kind of get it, given that, running animations may not have been their biggest forte. Well, ones that weren't combat-oriented. Oh god, Jansen can literally rush the enemy with his staff in hand. Goodness gracious.
Since he's a spellcaster, obviously physical attacks are not his forte.
That was a close one.
Oh no, that crystal almost did us in, guys.
Okay,
Broken bridge.
let's continue.
So we'll go around this way.
So the basic gist of it for the rest of the dungeon is to basically try to get down from here and just leave, basically.
And yeah, you notice also from the map and the fact that you have the context-sensitive jump, it is slightly similar to what the first 13 actually did. It's just that the maps actually try to be a bit more labyrinthine rather than being, settled corridors.
Yeah, like if I recall correctly, what 13 did was try to make it cool and cinematic with how you traverse the map, even sometimes leaping down bridges
This is
and
more
whatnot. Even
similar
though...
to 510.
That's the thing.
But...
Sorry, go ahead and finish too.
No. It's what I was saying basically. This is more similar to 510 in a sense what you just said. The maps are not super elaborate. The areas are maybe not super big, but they try to be a bit more, supported with a couple of branching paths, different destinations potentially. So there is an attempt.
That's the thing, Joe. I will argue they weren't cinematic enough. Because remember, the only interesting set piece we have in the gameplay sections is that thing where Ope is piloting that mech. And you'd think the game, to break off the monotony of just walking forward to the next cutscene / battle, you'd think they would implement more set pieces like that. But again, the rush development of the game, they probably wanted to, but again, the rush development of the game that I explained in our redo playthrough probably kept them from doing that.
Oh no, when I'm talking cinematics, I'm talking about the cool stuff that the characters do, like how, every character hops up and down that bone ridge in like this area essentially, because it looks cool how they progress.
Also, there's technically Teijin's Tower, but that's basically a set of, obligatory hunting missions. Though admittedly, the interior design of the tower at least tries to be a bit more than just a set of corridors. So there was an attempt more than anything, but it wasn't really that much.
An attempt was made.
13 seems to go to the school of thought of, hey, if we make it look cool enough how they'll progress, people won't miss the open world factor as much, or, open map anyway.
Remember, like I've explained, they went throughout most of the development cycle not knowing how the final product was going to be. So by the time they finally knew, and was time to finally put the final product together, they had to rush it, and as a result, they couldn't afford to make the dungeons elaborate. They had to make them simplistic as fuck so they could get the game out the door in time.
And the problem was they doubled down on this hard instead of just admitting that they originally wanted to do a proper map structure, but I guess to say...
answers, Jova.
Yep.
Yeah. And it got so bad because they were literally blaming Western gamers for not getting their vision of 13.
See, here's the thing about that. See, okay, look, like to explain, the dungeons in this game are still linear, but they're more elaborate. There's more elaborateness to their design, and there's gimmicks. Like for right now, we're pushing the carts, right? Like there's an actual gimmick that makes the dungeon unique to the other dungeons instead of just walking forward, right?
And how we had to find our way along the mountain ridge too, since the bridge was
and now we're
out
going
as well.
from the other side, basically.
Look at for example, comparison for Final Fantasy 15 takes a traditional open world aesthetic that we all know from Ubisoft games or Breath of the Wild or stuff like that, right? But when you compare it to something like Final Fantasy 16, which does take a linear approach, however, that game makes the best of what it can with that linear approach by making both the dungeons and especially the world be more purposeful in its design. Yes, it's linear, but every bit of the world design feels purposeful and handcrafted. There's always something in it that feels tangible in terms of there's never any fillerish terrain, if you know what I mean, right? Everything in it feels like it was put in there with a specific purpose, be it world building or some kind of thing for you to, or some kind of passage for you to go through to get things or find things. So again, it's not so much that the one approach is better than the other. It's all about execution, right? 13's linearity is only a problem because it's super simplistic, and we're always doing, like Brando put in his video, we're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over. That's why the monotony sets in, and the linearity becomes noticeable. Whereas in a good game, the linearity does not become noticeable. Alright, speaking of that, we're done. So, Grand Staff Construction Base.
Southeast.
Alright, so in the next part, we're going to take a look at Grand Staff and see if we can hopefully fix it quickly and get back to Ura with no issues.
Yeah.
See you then.
Alright, see you then.